Hey everybody, welcome back. HSC Podcast 72, still in season 3. Getting ready to come up soon on football season. Can't wait for that. Big Box Steve on the mic, got the Big Smooth and Fresh Wes. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, thanks for listening. Don't forget to fill out our poll questions. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and like. Uh, we got a new comment, which I didn't understand what it said. So, but at least it's a comment. So good stuff there. Great podcast tonight. Got some good stuff for you. Before we jump into the podcast, we don't have any sports tonight. It's kind of weird for us. So any sports happenings, anything that popped out in the last week or so? I mean, we're not that far from football.
Well, non-contact injuries are starting to happen. So
Right.
Burrow went down today, but I think it's mild, and Ramsey's out to at least December.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, like should these guys be playing in like mini camps and training camps?
Oh.
Well, I mean, with non-contact injuries, you're going to do it anywhere, right? I mean, you're just running. It's not like you're, you know, getting hit or anything.
Yeah. But it's still kind of that like in the moment, right place, right time thing though, too. Like would they still have got injured later? Maybe, yeah. I
Well,
mean,
probably
because
because their body was wearing down. So it's probably better now than later for like Jalen Ramsey, so he can at least, get surgery before.
yeah, you may have not made that same move, you may not have cut the same way, may not have turned on your knee the same way later. Uh, who I think it was LaDainian Tomlinson was like one of the first that was like, you know what, I'm not playing preseason. It's like it's just not worth it,
Yeah.
So because you're already playing now, they're playing 17 games,
Right.
and now you're gonna ask them to play in some preseason games. Granted, like a lot of the starters aren't playing until half a quarter or 2 quarters, maybe game 3, game 4. But I get it though.
Well, there's only what 3 preseason games now, unless you play in the Hall of Fame game.
Right.
And it's usually what the starters will play like a a, a quarter in the second game.
And
Because the
then
third game's usually all backups or people that are
right.
going to get cut.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of time, and I get that. Um, yeah, but with an extended season now and everything at risk, it's kind of tough. But you also see that when people come in and they do play a little bit or they go to training camps, they come out a little stronger.
Well, especially like Ramsey, on a new team, probably trying to get used to everything too
Yeah, he's gotta learn the new defense
for
and
the practice.
learn on the calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, but I can't wait for football season to start. We'll get back into that. We got some good top fives this week. So, talk about the top fives. Uh, what are your thoughts, Wes, on preseason, player injuries, things like that?
It's kind of a catch-22. It's totally unnecessary for someone like Burrow to go down, but you got to get the reps in. You got to, you got to get everybody into, you know, regular season form. You just can't go out there week one and just, you know, oh, we're just gonna start playing. They are professionals, but at the same point, um, who got hurt out for the season? Just totally non-comic. All Hines
Yeah.
for the Bills, and what happened? I don't even know what happened. What happened with that? Like nobody just really knows. He
Yeah.
blew his knee out, and he's out for the year.
Yeah.
That's just unnecessary. Like whatever. Like you just can't do that. You can't be
Well, you never know when that's going to happen though, because some of the littlest tweaks, like just the wrong cut, the wrong angle.
Yeah, and that's why I would probably be a little careful for him. I mean, he did hurt his calf. Sometimes that's a sign that's Achilles. Like they need to watch that. You know, but I'm sure he.
Yeah,
But
it's a, it's a
he got carted off. But
so you got to think about it, right? They're coming out of this off season, right? And most of them, they're none of them, not none of them, but a lot of them aren't working out regularly. It's not like their whole off season they're hitting the gym, and doing a lot of workouts. A lot of them are partying, going on vacation, doing their thing. So you come back those first couple weeks, and you're not completely ready for that.
yeah, I mean, some guys I mean, like Debo Samuel, like everyone's talking about, oh, what a great shape he's in. I mean, yeah, but usually the skill guys usually they keep in top form.
Right.
It's the linemen and the bigger guys. It's just, yeah, maybe, but that's nothing's gonna really. They're always gonna be a little out of shape.
Well, that's like what, talking about Jerry Rice. And that's why he's, was so great, because that guy worked out year round, you know. Like summertime, he ain't going out on boats, going, dude,
No,
he was running hills,
well,
all summer.
In the sand, Wes, in the
Right.
sand.
don't try it, kids. Don't do it. Trust me, it hurts.
Yeah.
Try it.
You can't do that Jerry Rice
No,
workout.
no, not Jerry Rice.
So yeah, can't wait. Football season starting. We're getting a lot more football talk. But I enjoy our summer break when we get to talk about top fives. I think we got three pretty good top fives today. So let's see, where do you guys want to start? I think we should start with top five Arnold movies. Uh, this is an interesting one. I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts on this one. So, what the first topic is HSC top five Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. There was a lot less than I thought. Like
Really?
I thought he was in more movies for some reason.
I don't know. They're quality movies.
I got it like 7. I had 7 or 8 like that. I was like him and Erhan on, but
Yeah,
how
they're
about 10?
yeah, around 5. I was like, I really want to add this movie, but I didn't. It could go
All
either
right.
way.
Well, Derek, since it's your topic, why don't you lead us off here? Number five, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, my number 5 might be controversial because people panned it when it first came out, but it's actually become a cult classic now, and that is The Last Action Hero.
Nice.
This movie about a kid who gets pulled into a Schwarzenegger movie, and he doesn't know who it is, and it has like lots of gags in it, like I'm going to take you to the video store and show you, and then it's Stallone is in all Arnold spots, and there's a cartoon cat detective, and he's like, oh yeah, he's awesome. Like no problems with it whatsoever. So I just really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I do like that movie. Um, it wasn't very typical for him either, which is great. So I can see that. I can see that there in the top five. All right, Wes, what do you got at five?
Well, I kind of had a different take on, the last part of the list because I want to show Arnold's range as an actor. And I got to go first with Conan the Barbarian
Oh my God, yeah.
because less is more. Less Arnold talking is weird, and it's a weird movie, but it's pretty entertaining. And of course, James Earl Jones is badass in that movie.
Dude,
Like,
so badass.
it's so you're just like, are you kidding me? This dude, I wouldn't mess this dude. Yeah, and there's
It's
just
classic. It's classic
yeah,
too.
yeah. Right.
And I would be willing to bet like I don't know, maybe 2 out of 10 people that you talk to have actually seen that movie.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's on quite a bit, but people start watching it and there's not a lot of dialogue in lots of the movie. There's a lot
Right.
of grunting. I mean, like I said, it's all about his, well, you're doing things without really talking, and that's very hard to do. I think Arnold pulled it off pretty well.
That's probably where he's at his best.
When he doesn't talk,
I went also a little outside the box for Arnold on my number 5, and I got Kindergarten Cop because it's one of those for me when it wasn't the normal Arnold movie. It's got good funny parts, and I love that. He's got some really great one-liners in it that are very historical, not only from him but from some of the other actors, especially the kids. And I love the movie. It's got a decent plot to it, so
Filmed
I
in
liked it.
Astoria.
And it was filmed in Oregon, so I enjoy that. So I got Kindergarten Cop at 5. Love it. All right, Wes, number 4.
and I'm going with End of Days, number
Oh,
4.
I do like that movie.
I mean, I when I first saw it, I was like, why am I watching this movie in the theater?
I saw the
But
theater too.
but it's kind of awesome. I mean, talk about the one-liners. He's got so many in those. I mean, and again, he shows some of his acting ability. The cop that's just like drunk all the time and always breaks the rules and like gives the finger to the religious authority throughout the whole movie. Is that Eastern Standard Time? Like makes
Eastern
fun of like
Standard
the end of
Time.
the world. I mean, it's just like the world's gonna end, and he just doesn't care. He's like, he lost everything. He's like, whatever, it's entertaining. It's just typical Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I love it. I had that. So that was in my top 7. I didn't make the top 5, but man, I do like that movie. And maybe it's because I saw it in the theater, and maybe, it's because it's about the end of the world or whatever. But I think it was good. I like it. My number 4, I got True Lies. And it's not just Arnold. I think it's a great cast. I think it kind of that ups it better than, just him, so and then come on, you got James Cameron, so that's helpful too. A lot of things happening with True Lies. But I thought he was good in it. I thought he played a good role, showed a little bit of range, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, what else can you say?
Yeah, that was
Right.
that was off the like I wasn't expecting that. Yeah,
Yeah. And then Tom Arnold, of course, I mean,
Yeah.
but overall, I think that they meshed well. I think the group, of the three of them, made the movie really good. So there are a couple
Don't
movies
forget Bill Paxton.
yeah, Bill Paxton for sure. There's a couple movies I could have put in there that might have been more Arnold, but I like the cast, the crew, and I think that made for a good movie. So I stuck that in it for.
This one I got is going to be probably higher in your guys' list, but I got it number 4. Another James Cameron movie. It's Terminator 2.
Yeah.
I got Terminator 2 at 4 because it's a great movie, but my top 3, I couldn't put it above.
I don't
And
know,
I put
man. I think Terminator 2 is one of the best movies like ever. I love Terminator 2.
it's good.
But it's not all Arnold though.
I
That's the
know we
problem.
probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think people put this as 1 or 2, but yeah, I just have it at 4. I like Terminator 2, but that's just a little more like lower budget. So you go with T2. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's one of the better storyline movies I think of. And it's not just like I said, it's not just Arnold, which that makes it hard to put up on top of his list. But I watch Terminator 2 over and over again. I love that movie. I think it's great. So that was your four? You had Terminator 2 to four?
yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
All right, number three. I'll lead us off here. I got Commando here, dude. This is so good, And what's her name? God, why did I just lose her name? The girl.
Ray Dong Chong.
Is that yeah? Is that her name? Plays the girl that gets the kidnapped girl or whatever. Is that her?
The kidnapped
No,
girl
the
or
the 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 young girl. No, that's what's it's. She's the real young girl. What's her name? Uh,
oh.
I just lost it.
Well, Ray Dong Chong was the flight attendant that helps him.
No. The girl that gets kidnapped, dude. Come on, she's super famous.
Oh,
Now I gotta look it up.
oh god, yeah, yeah, I know. I don't remember the name.
Alyssa Milano.
That's right. It's
Oh,
Alyssa
Alyssa Milano.
Milano. Yeah,
Or
Alyssa Milano plays the good girl that he's trying to rescue, and
his
I love
daughter.
it. Yeah, because it's his daughter, and he plays like the father who goes in there,
yeah,
and he's like super badass and kills everybody and rescues his daughter. And I thought the movie was really all about him and his daughter, which I really liked. Like I think he did a good job in the movie of playing the star, but also playing the action hero. And the overall the movie has a good storyline. And so I put Commando over there over a couple movies I really like because I think it's a very well done, very very good plot.
Yeah, I had Commando at 6, and I always just think of it's Sole. Remember when I say I'd kill you last?
Yeah,
I
I remember
lied.
this. I lied. Oh, it's so good, dude. All right, Derek,
Cool
what do you got at three?
off. 3, I got True Lies. I think it's one of the, I mean, like you already said, it's a great ensemble cast. James Cameron. It works for me because it's comedy plus a drama. You got, the typical terrorism thing going on, but yeah, I can watch True Lies nonstop.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing bad about the movie. Like there's no parts where you're like, oh man, this is horrible. Yeah, it's just a good movie. All right, Wes, what do you got at three?
same. True Lies. My three. That's
Yeah.
just and Bill Paxton is so funny in that movie. I mean, that whole scene, that whole part where he's like, "Yeah, what an idiot." He's like talking about the guy that it's just there's this hilarious. I mean, again, it shows Arnold, Arnold's range, he's
Yeah.
funny. He's really funny. I mean, there's some of the movies that I didn't put on the list. I'm like, I really want to put this on the list. It's like, but it's just, yeah, that movie, yeah, there's really not too many flaws in that movie. So it's a solid movie.
Yeah. Yeah, the cohesion works real well, but it is funny when you watch Arnold because I mean, sometimes you can typecast him in your head, but then you see him in these other movies and you're like, yeah, he's funny because, I don't think he's trying to be funny. I think he's just funny, in those parts. He's really himself, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So I like that about True Lies. I also think they did a really good job with the story too. It was fun to watch. So I see where you guys there. All right, number two, Derek.
My 1 and 2, I can't really. I guess I'll go. They're both equal to me. I got like them both at 1A, 1A, but I'll go number 2, Total Recall.
Yeah.
I just did, like you've been saying, it's a great story. We don't know if it's, if he's making it all up or what's going on. And yeah, I just so much better than the remake. So much better.
Well, anytime a movie's remade, it's good in the first place, right? Because they're trying to remake it and live off of its glory. And yeah, you can't remake Total Recall as good as it was the first time. There's just no way. And I do love Total Recall. I think it's a great movie.
I got 7 kids to feed.
All right,
Many.
Wes, what do you got at 2?
I got a movie called The Predator.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it just talk about it's a scary movie. I mean, it's kind of freaky. It's really dark. Again, it's just less is more with Arnold sometimes. It's just all about killing the alien, and good cast. You got Apollo in the movie. Like you're just like, he's gonna die. It's like, no, he can't die. You can't kill him. It's like
Get to the chopper.
the chopper.
Yeah, Predator is such a good movie. And I'll tell you, I didn't put it in my top 5 just because I figured it'd be there anyway from you guys. The only reason so the end of the movie is not as good as the beginning of the movie when all the other cast is there. Once all the other cast, because the other cast is so good, dude. Not just Apollo, but the other guys, Jesse Ventura and the bald guy and the Indian guy. Like they're
Tony
just
Latham.
yeah, they're so good in that movie. And I think Arnold, does a great job with them, but it's not as good at the end to me as it is for the first half of the movie. First half of the movie is so good. I love it.
Well, I think in the second half he has to adapt because he knows he is outmatched.
Right.
So that's what I like about it too, is it's like he's this badass, but he needs to adapt and actually go into a, guerrilla warfare to beat the Predator.
I mean, but come on, can Arnold really beat the Predator?
If Danny Glover can, Arnold can.
Dude, yeah, Danny, come on. Let's talk about Predator 2 for a minute.
Right.
Come on,
But
Danny Glover.
we're
Dude,
not
he's
talking
too
about
old for
Predator
that
2.
shit, man. There's no way Danny goes. He's too old for that.
I mean, Danny Glover's a way down the river. I'm just saying. I don't think even Arnold can beat the Predator.
It's the 80s. That's what happened.
No, it's great. It's a great
Adrian
movie.
Brody beat the Predator.
It's one of my definitely one of my favorite movies. Seen it a million times. So my number 2 has been mentioned and didn't give it the respect to deserve, which is Conan the Barbarian. I've seen this movie so many times. And so maybe it's nostalgic, and maybe it's because I've seen it 1,000 times, but it's so good, dude. Like, this is when Arnold, for me, was at his prime. You don't have to talk a lot, dude. You're swinging a big ass sword all the time, and you're it's just awesome. And it's also like for me, I like that old style. It's like Lord of the Rings without the ring.
It can be kind of like an epic in a sense. It's
Right.
kind of cool because of that.
Right.
And
I
that's
just
the one
love
with
it.
Bridget Nielsen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good, dude. It's great. And I can just watch it over and over again. But also, like, it also set off like a series of movies too. Like, it was the beginning of a couple other movies, like Conan the Destroyer. Uh, Maybe not directly linked, but to Red Sonja, things like that. You know, it was where he played in those movies.
Beastmaster.
Yeah. And I think it was a good start to his career. I think it was a great movie, and I just loved watching it as a kid. I just loved it. I watched it so many times. So I put it up
And
there too.
they had a spectacular at Universal Studios where they did like stunts and stuff for Conan.
Did they have the girl scenes like the it's pretty hardcore.
It is hardcore. Like this is what a 7-year-old should be watching.
Yeah, it's like I remember watching as a kid. I'm like, whoa, what's this,
It's great.
Mom?
I loved
What
it,
are they
dude.
doing? They're wrestling.
That was my first Arnold experience as a kid, and that's why I always liked him. All right, here we go. Number one, Wes.
It's Terminator 2, but it was hard because I want to lump the first three together because
Yeah,
I like the third one a lot too. I think it
it's
really
great.
throws a spin on the second one, and I think it's really creepy the third one. But of course, Terminator 2 it's just such a good movie. It's one of those movies.
It's
It's one of those
iconic.
movies that you're just like, you know what? I know it's 1991, and they didn't do that, but it should have just got a nomination for Best Picture because it's that good. You know?
Dude, there's nothing better than when he's like they're like out in the middle of the desert going to get the guns, and like the kids trying to like teach him things. Dude, Arnold plays like the perfect like Terminator learning things, you
Yeah.
know? He's trying to like
Like
teach him how to talk and like how to like do
trying to
things.
teach him how to be cool. You know,
Right,
it's
how
like
to
that's
be
not
cool.
cool.
Right.
And he's like, what? And then he tries to be cool. And that's
Yeah. Yeah.
For me,
That's
it's
where
not.
hasta la vista, baby.
For me, it's not higher because of one of the last podcasts we do. Linda Hamilton steals the show in that movie, though.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. I mean, so I cheated a little bit. My number one, I ranked all the Terminators together. Like I think I put Arnold in Terminator because Terminator 1, he's badass too. Because he's the Terminator, dude, and he's going out. When he goes into the police station, like there's not many better scenes, dude. When he goes in the police
yeah.
station, is just wrecking dudes.
It's very dark. The thing they're all different, but the first one
Right.
is just very dark. And I think when I watched it as a kid, I wasn't too excited to watch the second one. Like, yeah, because when you're a kid, you're just like, it's kind of low budget, you know. But yeah, it's just second. And then the third one, yeah, I know what you're saying. To me, I
Right.
haven't even seen the newer ones yet. I've only seen up to three. But
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
three is
you might be okay there.
three is just creepy. I mean, it's just like, oh, don't do it. You know what's going to happen. Like, oh, this is wow.
Yeah, for me, it's a series of them, and I didn't want to like pick one of them. Again, maybe that's a little bit cheating, but I think just Arnold in Terminator
This is
is his like
Terminator.
it's his iconic role, and you just don't get much better than that for him, um, from start to finish. All right, Derek, what do you got at one?
Kindergarten Cop.
Well,
The Running
no,
Man.
that would have been a good one, but no, it's Predator.
No.
I mean, Predator's so good.
I wanted to put like twins on there, but
When?
Oh, Holly's mad because I didn't put twins on there.
Oh, jeez. We should have did the Holly list.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
mad that they didn't. They were going to make a movie called Triplets, and it was going to be Eddie Murphy as the third brother.
Oh, jeez. Because that makes sense.
Oh my god.
Predator it is so good. And I could watch Predator over and over and over and over again. I do believe that they put the perfect cast together for that movie, and that really benefited Arnold in that movie.
We had my favorite is Sonny Latham. He's the Indian character in that. They
Yeah,
had to have a bodyguard for him, so he didn't hurt other people.
yeah. He's a dangerous man. I mean, all the guys in that played their roles really well, you know, and they each had their own personalities. I mean, even Carl Weathers at times you're like, man, this guy's like kind of the punk, you know, but still played that role pretty well, you know. So I
What's the
like
matter,
the
Dylan? Been pushing too many pencils?
he's like remember when he's like, you give away our position one more time and I'll cut you like a pig or something like that. He's like, and I'll bleed you good.
Yeah, Bill Duke. He was the one of
Yeah.
the villains in Command.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just they just can't make movies like that nowadays.
Nah, it's so
The
good.
characters, it's like it would just be too much.
I couldn't put Commando and Predator in at the same time. I was like, they're too close. I had to choose one.
Yeah.
No, I thought about the Running Man because I watched it.
I love the Running Man.
I watched it for the first time like a couple of months
Running
ago.
Man is great.
Like late at night, and he has so many great lines when he gets yelled at the thing. I was like, it's so classic.
It was hard for me not to put Running Man in because again, that's another one I've seen 100 times. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was hard not to put that in, but I wanted to mix it up a little bit because I like Arnold's range. And I'm not gonna say this is top five, but even look at him in a movie like Jingle All the Way, right? With Sinbad. And it's such a goofy movie, and again, you're not gonna give it 5 stars, but it's cool to see him playing other roles like that.
The Sixth Day.
The Sixth Day.
I watched that in the theater, and when he's talking to the clone and he whacks on the clone, we were the only ones in the theater laughing. It's just like it was hilarious. So he's like, "Why don't you just clone yourself? Go."
Remember Red Heat?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that was up there. Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
but some of these movies I haven't seen in years. I don't remember. You know, Commando. I don't really remember.
Eraser, yeah, Eraser wasn't bad at all.
Eraser,
I did like Eraser. So I mean, Arnold, even though he didn't have as many movies they thought he did, he has a lot of good movies, and that top 7 or 8 was hard to choose from.
Yeah. Well, it's once he went into politics, he kind of quit acting for a while.
Right.
And they did the Expendables, which I've only seen the first
Expendables. Expendables.
I've seen some.
Well, he's a cameo pretty much in all.
It's kind of funny.
Well, so what's his greatest acting job is the governor.
The governor.
He acted better in that role than any movie ever did.
That's all bad. That's all bad.
Oh, good stuff. Arnold. I love Arnold. All right, so let's go on the next top 5 here. Let's go to movie soundtracks. So this was kind of a request. So we're if you're listening right now, give us requests because look, this is multiple podcasts in a row that we're doing requests. So top 5 movie soundtracks. And I'll tell you, this is one of the bigger lists that I've had of the top 5s that we've done, where I had to break down from a real long list. And this was tough. So since this is mine, I'll lead us off. HSC Podcast top 5 movie soundtracks. And man, a lot of people may not agree with this one or might think this is weird, but I got The Lion King. And I mean, I just love the soundtrack, dude. Like you got a lot of good songs in there, and it's memorable. It's a great kids movie, but you know the songs themselves keep the movie exciting a little bit. Like it keeps the movie going for you even as an adult. You know, as you hear those songs, and then of course you got Smelton John in there, which what are you gonna do,
Well, he did all the music for it.
right? So I love the Lion King soundtrack.
Alan Menken wrote all the lyrics.
Right. So I got to give Lion King some props. I got to throw him in there at number 5.
Mm. Yeah.
My number 5 might probably be higher on Wes and Steve's list, but I'm putting it at 5, and that would be the Top Gun soundtrack.
I mean, it is one of the greatest soundtracks of all time.
Yeah.
It was 5 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Top 100. Take My Breath Away.
Yeah.
Won the Academy Award for Best Song.
Danger Zone.
Danger Zone, Playing with the Boys.
Because there is no better scene than when they're playing volleyball and Playing with the Boys is going in the background. Like, come on, dude.
It's so.
You know what's funny though?
Like,
the soundtrack doesn't have "You Lost That Loving Feeling" on it.
Right.
That's weird.
But it is a key part of the movie.
Right. But it's not on the soundtrack though.
It's on my soundtrack. I put it on the soundtrack myself. But it's still good. And then there's also something great about Danger Zone when you're flying a jet. I've never done either of those things, but it sounds awesome.
No, it's like when you're driving in traffic, like in LA, listening to that song, you're just like, okay, I can do it now. You feel like Maverick.
Spoiler, yes, it is higher in my top 5.
Yeah.
All right, Wes.
Well, this was a family show until now, so this gets I like going old school, and I'm going first with Boogie Nights.
Oh yes, dude, I had Boogie Nights so close to the top 5.
Oh man, there's so many great songs. I mean, the way that he turns that movie, he just turns it in. You just feel like you're in the 70s.
Yeah.
It's like you get the Commodore, the Machine Gun, Marvin Gaye. I mean, just old school.
The music really does make that movie.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it's a good movie. It's got great things to it, but sometimes it's hard to watch. But the music keeps it rolling, like it really makes that movie.
The pool scene,
yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it watchable.
No, but the best song, what's the best song, Derek? You got the touch,
man.
you got the
power. That's and I remember the first time I watched that. I almost cried. I was like, I hadn't heard that song since I was like 8. I was like,
it's a Transformer song.
Transformers the movie when they all died. Mm-hmm. When I was crushed.
Mm-hmm.
You got
I had Boogie Nights in like top 6, 7. That was real close.
I always think of the
Lion King beat it out.
When they're playing Sister Christian.
Oh yeah.
And the guy, it's Alfred Molina's the drug dealer, and then he's got the Asian guy like doing firecrackers in the background.
But I forgot what song was playing then.
Sister Christian.
Yeah,
Christian.
That's right. Yeah. That was such a bizarre scene. No, dude.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's funny when I see that scene, I think
I saw that movie later.
there's some times I've been in some places, some houses where I'm like, and it reminds me of that scene. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is gonna go down. It's going down. I should not be here.
Yep. Yep.
Right, guys?
I got that Mark Wahlberg feeling.
Yeah, I did. The Mark Wahlberg feel like, dude, I need to go back. I need to go back to college. Like, done. Get my degree.
That's so good. Yeah, I'm glad you put it in there because I was disappointed I took it out, but I think I got some other good ones. All right, number 4, Derek, lead us off.
Well, I needed to put a rap hip hop soundtrack in here. So I went with Above the Rim.
Oh, brother, it's good.
You got Renegade on there, Afro Puffs. You got Dog
You got
Pound for Life. You got Tupac on it. You got Dre.
it. You got it above Friday and Juice.
Well, Above the Rim just has more songs, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing competes with Regulate.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Regulate. Yeah, it's tough. No, I like it. I mean, I think there's a lot of underrated hip hop, gangster rap movies that don't get enough credit for the songs that they have, their soundtracks. I think Above the Rim's a good one. So I can definitely I can go with that. All right, Wes, what do you got for?
Oh, this is tough. I went with Saturday Night Fever. Yeah,
Of course you did.
I had to
You
go.
you and Dave.
I mean, talk about a movie. I mean, I remember the first time I saw the movie, I was like, this is really bad. I mean, the music's great, but the movie itself is
The
just
music's good. It was top 10. I'm not gonna lie. I had him there.
It's a lot of disco, like Staying Alive, Night Fever, More Than One. I mean, it's just so many songs. But yeah.
It's a music heavy movie, but I think it makes the movie. But that's what the movie's about, right? So if you're gonna make that type of movie, you better have a good soundtrack.
Well, the soundtrack though nowadays it makes people forget how like not how bad the movie is, but how bad the topic and everything, like what goes on in the movie.
Right,
Everyone
right.
thinks, oh, we got a movie about dancing. No, there's a lot more to
Yeah,
it.
it's kind of a messed up movie in general, but the music's great.
Yeah.
No, I agree. But I do like the soundtrack there. So I think that's a good one to listen to. Number 4, I got Dazed and Confused here.
Oh,
And dude, you're talking about like Slow Ride and Low Rider. School's Out. Dude, come on. When they're ending school, they're like school's out for the summer. Like that's the best thing in anybody's life, right? Is there any better time in your life when it's the last day of school? Like there's nothing better than that. And rock and roll, hoochie coo. And then of course the movie's great too. I mean, there's a lot of other people in the movie, but I just love Matthew McConaughey in that movie. He's so awesome. And the movie's great, but I think the soundtrack really enhances the movie to even with there's some slower parts of the movie. I think that's where the soundtrack kicks in. And so that's why I love their soundtrack. All right, here we go. Number 3, Wes leading us off.
this was hard.
It gets really hard at this point, I think.
No, because you're gonna be like, oh, of course you picked this movie. I have to pick it though. It's Apocalypse Now.
Oh yeah, of course you do.
I have to. I mean, just I mean, the Playboy scene, Susie Q, just all of it. I mean, but
Dude,
just it's just
first
when
of
they're
all, first of all, let me just stop you for a second. I'll let you move on. But Susie Q is one of the best songs ever. Dude, I sit there and listen to Susie Q all day.
Yeah.
So go ahead with your stuff. Just people listening, you got it. Susie Q's the best.
I mean, I can't get no satisfaction. That scene right there,
Mhm.
and people don't understand is, I mean, I've seen the movie so many times. He's what happens after, he's, I mean, a Morpheus, you know, Morpheus is, I mean, it's amazing just to see him like, that's him. Lawrence Fishburne, if you don't know, I mean, Lawrence Fishburne,
Right,
when he was
right.
really young, he was only 18. And
No, he was younger.
dancing that song. And then what happens? They go to the chopper, the extended cut, and he's the only one that didn't get laid.
Right.
And then he flips out and shoots everybody on the boat. It's like, why? Because he didn't get any.
It's so horrible.
But
Oh,
there's
kids, if
so
you're
many
watching
great
at
songs.
home.
The Doors, the Doors
Oh,
in the beginning and the end. I
yeah, I
mean,
love the Doors.
yeah, the end song is it's just perfect.
Wes, he was 14.
14.
No.
Holy
He was
crap.
40.
Yes, he lied about his age.
Right. He's like, it's like when you try to go to war, right?
Yeah.
He was trying to go to war, but he's trying to go to a movie.
Yeah, it's like I want to go to the Philippines and party with freaking Dennis Hopper, like and
which
Marlon Brando.
which might be one of the most fun people to party with ever is
Oh
Dennis
yes,
Hopper.
I mean you just hear that you read some of the stories. I mean, he
Oh
was
yeah.
blitz the whole time.
I love Dennis Hopper. He's great.
Talk about getting into character. He got way too many characters. I'm surprised he came back alive from the Philippines.
Well, I think that's most of his movies, that guy.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. So three for me, I got Forrest Gump
Oh,
here.
that's one I was talking.
I mean, there's so much, because they do so many things, and then they use the music to like
Mm-hmm. Tell the story.
recap the things tell the story and things he's doing. Um, everything from Mrs. Robinson to uh, Break On Through,
Back out to the other. Yep.
Sweet Home Alabama.
There's just
Uh,
so many. There's like 20 songs. I
there
looked it
is.
up.
It's crazy. There is like 20 songs. But the best one though is I just missed it. Where is it? Joan Baez, dude. When she's singing Joan Baez and it's on the soundtrack. But I think they do a good job of taking the songs for what he's doing in the movie,
Mhm.
and they really relate right to each scene,
Yeah.
and that's why I think they did such a good job. And so I think it could have been higher,
Mhm.
but when you got songs like Doors, Break On Through, they even have like Elvis Presley, ain't nothing but a hound dog, when he's like supposedly meeting Elvis Presley. Like that stuff's so good. So I definitely think Forrest Gump has a great soundtrack with a great movie. So I'll put that up there at three. All right, Derek, what you got?
I'm going outside the box again. Um, Soundtrack from Batman.
I don't think
The
that's too far outside of the box, but it's good. It's good, but it's a little outside the box.
with all Prince songs.
Yeah,
Bat Dance, Party Man, The Future. Spent 6 weeks on the number one on the billboards and went double platinum.
right. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's terribly outside the box, but I don't think it's a commonly thought of. when you're thinking about great soundtracks, but it is great. And dude, I mean, let's just be honest, dude. Like Prince, seriously, is one of the best artists ever.
Yeah.
So, like I had Purple Rain on my list, even though it didn't make the top 5. And obviously it's all Prince, but still, it's like, come on. So I can definitely dig that. And I'm good with that. I didn't put it on my list, but I definitely I looked at it for a while and I was like, this is good.
Well, I think just the way the songs were, because they were different.
Right. But they did a good job also matching it to the movie, and that's important.
Yeah.
So where we're at 3, so we're down to 2. I think I'm leading off here. I mean, it's been said, and you probably guys know it. It's Top Gun. Ain't nothing better than Danger Zone. Is it not super iconic for that song to be with a fighter pilot? Like, come on, dude. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. But Take My Breath Away. That's one of the most iconic scenes when he rolls up and they have him and Kelly McGillis have that scene, and then Playing with the Boys. Like you put those 3 things together, that's just great, dude. Like you can't get better than that. Even and then if you wanted to, you can throw in the bar scene if you wanted to. If you want to go to Lost at Love and Feeling, you could, because it's a great part of the movie. But Great Balls of Fire, right? What's better than Goose playing on the piano? So I had to put Top Gun up there. You guys knew it, but I think it's great. And it also maybe this is a spoiler, but that's what kicked Footloose out of it for me because it was too.
Because Kenny Loggins, you can't have 2 Kenny Loggins movies.
You can't have too much Kenny Loggins in your life. You have too much Kenny Loggins in your life, it makes your cereal soggy. So that's what I got at 2. And Derek, what do you got at 2?
Well, my 2's already been said, and that's Dazed and Confused.
Oh yeah, so good.
I got the double album. They got came with 2 CDs, and it's like 28 songs of 70s rock. So
yeah, and it fits so well with the movie too. Because when you look at a good soundtrack, like it has to really go with the movie at the same time. Like you can have some great songs in a horrible movie, doesn't make a good soundtrack. And it is a great movie, but I actually think in this case, the soundtrack is better than the movie.
Yeah,
that's a hard one to say, but I think it is. All right, Wes, what do you got at 2?
Nah, you guys took my top 2 already, but I had Top Gun's number 2 for me too.
Yeah.
It's just
like what can you say though? I mean, come on, right?
Yeah.
It's not only a great movie, but it's a great soundtrack. It fits into the scenes. I think that's a missing part of movies these days. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like this the scene really fit the background music, right? Like that's important in the movies.
No, there's not much emphasis a lot on soundtracks anymore, except the new Top Gun. It was kind of the same way.
Yeah, they weren't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, so you can't argue with that. Number 2, Top Gun. This is gonna get interesting though. Number 1, Everybody loves number one.
I think Derek's
Derek,
gonna throw it. Derek's gonna throw us for a loop.
Derek's
Probably.
got number one.
My number one, for me, the greatest soundtrack of all time, Ode to Grunge Music, is the soundtrack for Singles.
Oh wow. I had Singles on my list. I'm not gonna lie, they went up pretty early.
Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam,
Yeah.
Soundgarden, Jimi Hendrix, Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah, for
You
me,
don't get much more grunge than that.
no, there's
Yeah.
no Nirvana, but I mean, they have they have bands before their bands. So like Pearl Jam before
Right.
were Pearl Jam, they're band in there. So it's ode to the 90s and grunge music, this single soundtrack.
This is definitely a time where I kept it off because the soundtrack is way better than the movie. Dude, the soundtrack's so good. So I can totally see it being a number one soundtrack because it is that good. Like when the soundtrack overshadows the movie, uh I didn't have this on there, but it's like Hustle and Flow, same thing, right? Like I don't know if you guys ever heard the soundtrack from that, but and it from all the nominations it got, you have this like horrible movie with this like incredible soundtrack. That's what Singles reminds me of.
What's that line where they're like, "Hey, let's forget the movie. Let's work on the soundtrack."
Right.
What was that? Derek knows.
What was that?
I forgot.
Movie? Let's go work
I
on the
forgot the movie.
soundtrack.
That's all they cared about. This is the soundtrack. Like, get the movie.
Yeah, I was working on the soundtrack. I know. Now I can't remember it.
We'll get back to you on that, audience. We'll get that one for you. All right, Wes, what's your number one?
It's Forrest Gump. Just
Oh,
so
man.
many songs. I mean, yeah, and Elvis. Elvis was a hound dog. I mean, just it has everybody at the Doors. The scene at the Doors is really good when she's like on the ledge, and it's just California Dreaming.
No, it's so good,
I
dude.
mean, Aretha Franklin. I mean, the Supremes. Just Jefferson Airplane. Like,
There's so many. It's crazy how many songs are
yeah,
on their soundtrack. There's not a lot of movies that have that big of a list, and the list is 90% good.
yeah, and it spans those. It spans the 50s, 60s, and
Right,
70s,
right, right.
and a little
Because
bit of the
that's what
80s.
the
So you have
movie's done.
variety
Right.
of it.
And the movie does that, right? The movie is giving you this whole big timeline. So they got to get iconic songs throughout the timeline to do it, dude. And it's great. And I had a hard time putting it in front of Top Gun,
Yeah.
because I love Top Gun so much, but I think it's easily a top three. Definitely. A lot of people would put that at their number one. Uh, but my number one, nobody said yet. And it might be nothing but a G thing because it's straight out of Compton. Tell me
Yeah.
there's a better soundtrack than straight out of Compton, dude. I
Well, it's just the
mean,
NWA music,
and it's
right?
all NWA because
Okay.
there ain't no better music than NWA. So you're gonna put it in a movie and then you're gonna put out a soundtrack.
I thought you
F
were
the
going to say glitter.
F, F the police. Quiet on the set. There's so much good about NWA, Strata Compton. And obviously, yeah, it is a movie about them and that's their soundtrack, but there's no better music than that, dude. In my lifetime, if I had to listen to one thing, I'd just throw out NWA. Like just listen to it all day.
Yeah.
And the fact they made a movie out of it just makes me more happy. So I have to throw out that straight out
I
of
thought you were
Compton
gonna say
number
8
Gonna
Mile.
blast that at your daughter's birthday and blast it at
one.
Oh, that's
Yeah. I mean, she don't need to listen to it. I'll listen to it on my own.
he'll just have his
Well, yeah.
headphones during the ceremony.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, come on though. Like can you tell me of all the movies we just named, all the soundtracks we just named, there's anything better than just NWA's soundtrack for that movie? So good.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's fine.
Well,
You
it's
haven't seen
just
the movie.
NWA music.
You know the CD
Yeah.
though, right? I mean, you know the music. Like it just doesn't get any better. So obviously the movie comes after the movie's second, riding second horse to that, but that's my number one, straight out of Compton. All right, man, those are two good topics already. This is an interesting topic we're about to get into. Let me pull this one up. So, Wes, you're going to lead us off on this one. Maybe be a little bit ambiguous, but I picked mostly spots, but I have something else. I think Derek might too. But here we go. HSC Podcast top Vegas spots. So if you're going to Vegas or if you've been to Vegas, it's not current. It may be from old school. So some of you young kids might not get it, but we're talking about top Vegas spots in the past and the present.
Yeah, it's like some of us have not been there in a few years, so it's like, and then
I mean, it's changed for sure.
it's changed, but we're talking kind of the last 20 years, like the spots that we like that maybe are still around. Hopefully they are.
We're not going back to the 50s. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're not going to the Klondike and all that stuff. We're not going to Dave territory. This is like, but no, my number 5 is I like the Rio bar on the top of the Rio.
Yeah.
The lounge up there is pretty awesome.
Rio is so dope.
It's laid back. I'm not a big fan of going to a lot of clubs, but it's just a cool place to have some drinks and you get a view of the whole city and you meet women that are, maybe unavailable, but they act like they're available. Right, Derek? Right? And Derek likes
That was
to dance
years
on tables.
ago. Yeah. Careful. Caitlin might be listening.
It wasn't our fault.
Oh man, it's so good. I love it. Yeah, love it. I think that's a great pick. I got Mandalay Bay at 5. There's so much good about Mandalay Bay, but just talking about the rooftop bar, and they got a couple nice bars and / clubs happening there, but their pool is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
The pool at Mandalay Bay is money. And if you're going top 5 and you like a pool or you like clubs and bars, you're gonna get both there. You're not gonna get the best food. So let's just kind of say that. But you're gonna get the great bars, great pool. You got to sneak it in there in the top 5.
My number 5 is the first thing I got to do whenever I go to Las Vegas. I go over to La Salsa Cantina and get myself a yard margarita on the rocks.
Nice.
That's what you got to do. Get the yard margarita on the rocks.
Yeah.
You don't want to do the slushy. Do it on the rocks.
You gotta do it on the rocks.
Pick your tequila. That's what you got to do first thing when you get to Las Vegas.
But look, there's nothing better than a big ass margarita on the rocks. Right? When you're in super hot weather.
Right.
And it's just good. Just good. So there's nothing wrong with that.
It's refreshing.
Like you're giving people a script to work with here. Like, hey, get there, get your margarita. Now let's get there. So I love that. So number 4, again, we weren't super specific here, so this is not a place to stay, but this is something to do, and this is one of the coolest things you'll ever do down there, and it's dig this. If you ever seen this, you get to go and be in like backhoes and all this kind of like big equipment. You know what they with the scoop, and so you get to like move stuff around and smash stuff and like so everything you don't get to do because ain't none of us want to be a construction worker, but you go get to do it for a day for like $300, dude, and you just get to use all this heavy uh, construction equipment, dude. It's so much fun.
I'm assuming you did this sober.
I did that. You have to be sober. They give you a breathalyzer.
They do, I bet.
You can't. No, yeah, you can't get in without a breathalyzer.
Yeah,
and it's so cool, dude. Like,
did you go?
Because you get to like you're in this heavy ass construction equipment, dude. You're
Where's
just, like,
that at?
digging stuff. It's not far off, the main area. I mean, it's maybe like I don't know, 15 minutes. But dude, it's just dope, dude. You get to play with heavy. Remember all the things you played with as a kid? Like you get to do as an adult without having to work as a construction worker. So that's what's cool about it, dude. And so it's not a place to stay. It's not a bar. It's not all that. But I think it's one of the best things you can do. As I'm gonna maybe sound bad here, but it's a dude thing. Like guys are gonna do it, but it's super fun. Super fun.
My 4 has already been said. My 4 is the Rio rooftop bar.
Yeah, so good.
Cool out there. You could go out and you could just see everything. And it was like a lounge. It wasn't like, what the Luxor had Raw, and they had like Club 54 and MGM.
It's not like overly busy.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you gotta go up there and pop bottles and fucking,
Right. Yeah, there's no trance music being played.
Right. I do love that so much. So Rio again. So we got Rio twice. All right, Wes, what do you got for?
This is actually still there, so this is just letting people know what you can do, your options for after midnight, and you're maybe had a couple drinks and you want to have some food, a lot of stuff, whatever. I always like the pizza at New York.
Okay.
I go there all the time. It's like, what do I want to eat? I don't want to go anywhere. And
that's legit.
And it's good. It's like, dang, I have to have like 3 slices. It's that good. Just money.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of like the whole resort. No. But you're right. Like if you're going for a good slice, you're gonna get it there.
And then sometimes they have hot dogs too. Like down the Nathan's hot dogs too in that area.
Yep.
They got a pretty good deli there too, New York style deli. So
right. Yeah, you get that New York experience, and there's not a lot of better food than New York. Like and New York does it well.
And thing is, they have that little club in the back, right? And so you're eating pizza, and you see these girls come out, and they're just they're schmaced. And he's like, offer like,
you want some pizza?
Buy you a pizza. I mean, it's cheap. It's a great line. Like, hey, looks like you need some pizza there, dude. You just eat this.
Oh, so good. I love it. Wes is buying Drunk Girls Pizza. Oh, what are we at? 3?
Yep.
Man, I got the golden nugget here. Same thing. It starts with the pool, the Shark Tank.
The Shark Tank money.
Yeah, so money. But it's also not crazy expensive. It's not cheap. I'm not gonna, like go to Golden Nugget, save some money. But at the same time, like it's not, as crazy as some of the other resorts. And I've always liked the food there. So that's the one thing that I'll give them is that I've never been disappointed with a meal there. But yeah, the pool part super cool, and they give great deals. Like you can get some nice deals for the airfare and hotel
Yes.
bundle. Yeah,
I know some people that are going down there like around my birthday, and they're staying there. I
yeah.
guess don't they have a claim jumper there too? Dang. No, no, it's gone now.
I went there. I was just in Vegas in November, October, and they do have like it's like a claim jumper style restaurant
Right.
in there, and we ate breakfast there. And it was delicious.
Yeah.
But it was similar, but it wasn't called. I don't think it was not called claim jumpers, but it felt like a claim jumpers.
Well, the subsidiary owns both Golden Nugget and Claim
Right,
Jumpers.
right.
They own a bunch of stuff. So
It felt very similar, like menu is similar. Had a great breakfast there, and it was cheaper than anything we ate the whole time we were there. So, but I just love their pool. I think it's great, and it's on Fremont, dude. Like, it's old school. So you got to get that old school in there.
Steve,
All
I don't know.
right.
Did you do your 4?
Yeah, my 4 was dig this.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we're down to 2.
Well, no, I haven't done my.
Oh,
So
year 3. Yeah, year 3.
Well, my 3 is no longer around, but it was the Sahara Hotel
Oh yeah.
because they had the roller coaster that was a quick loop, and that was cool. They had 99-cent hot dogs, 99-cent Jägermeister shots, and they also had like a NASCAR cafe that had a good sports where you could watch lots of games and things. So I miss that place. I love staying at there.
Yeah. Which now you know why they're not around anymore. Can't give everything away for 99 cents.
Yeah.
That was the old school days, man.
Yeah. No, it is definitely a good place. So I could definitely put that in my top 10. All right, number 2. Oh, I gotta lead off here. Number 2. I got the MGM. I mean, there's just so much cool stuff about the MGM. Uh, but the number one thing for me at MGM is the sports book. The sports guy, I think they have the best sports book in Vegas. As far as maybe it's not the best as far as what they offer. Like their screens may not be as big as some other places, but their ambiance is great there at their sports book. It's easy. It's fun to go there. But then they have events, they have nice, great shows. I think the MGM would give you the ultimate experience. Like if you want to experience a lot of things at one resort, I think the MGM does a good job with that. So I think I'll put that number 2.
Well, my number 2, and I haven't been there in a while, so I can't really say what it is now, but I think lots of it is gone, but it's Fremont. But for me, it was, what was the name of the mermaids? And it was, Binions, and you had the
Opinions,
the football drink, and you had the deep fried Twinkies and all
Yep.
that, but that's all gone now.
So gone, dude. Binions was like my number 6. Love Binions. Well, it was so old school, dude. It was like what brought you to Vegas. Like
Mhm.
it was like the original Vegas.
Right.
It wasn't all about the tourism and the money and the things that everyone else did. They brought people there to gamble, but give you a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Drinks, food, all the cool things that you want when you're gambling.
Right.
When I
They're
when
like,
I'm losing money, I want you to give me drinks.
it's like, or if you just want to walk around, there's cheap drinks and cheap food to get you to
Right.
want to stay around.
Right. Just keep you around. Yeah, I love Binions. My favorite. All right, Wes, what do you got at 2?
I got the Westgate Sportsbook,
The
and
Westgate. Really?
it's there's like 8 TVs.
It's so out of control, dude. It's huge.
It's crazy.
It's
It's just like
huge.
it's just massive.
It is. It's massive.
And I
dude.
love the pool too. The pool's cool.
Right.
I like that. Like again, it used to be the Hilton. It's old school. None of the Pirates of the Caribbean crap, all that stuff. That's why I want to go to Circa when I go down because it's over 21. And it's supposed to be their sports book's supposed to be even better.
So, the problem I have with the Westgate is, though? It's like, look, yes, I understand you have this ridiculous ass sports book, right? But there's nobody in there. So stop trying to like charge me a bunch of money to go hang out in your sports book.
They charge?
You did. They were trying to like charge you to get the good seats. The back ones with the tables
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
at the
They
top.
charge?
Yeah, they're like trying to charge. I was like, dude, there is nobody sitting there.
So that's
I want to
why.
go there and gamble and drink and have food, and you want to charge me to go there? But it's so cool, dude. The size of their TVs, dude. There
You can
isn't
watch all the games on Sunday.
right
Just
on
like
a
right
on 108 inches,
there.
like for every game, dude. It's nice. Yeah, but don't be charging me to go in, but you don't have anybody sitting down. Like, come on, dude.
So
It was crazy, but it is.
what would Dean Martin say about that? Come on. What Frank say? Come on, Frank.
Let me call the Rat Pack.
Let's go to Rat Pack and ask them. This is crap.
All right, that was number 2. Number 1. Here we go. Derek, I think you're leading us off.
Oh, my number 1, just because I've went there a few times down there with bartenders and bartending competitions, big time with the flipping of the drinks and everything. It's got to be Carnival Court.
Yeah,
That's the best
that's
thing
so
there.
good.
Yeah. He took my one.
I mean, give it to him. Tell him what's great.
Well, it's outside in between. It's outside by Harrah's, and there's just this huge bar with like 6 bartenders all the way around, and they're all doing flair bartending. And then there's live music over here, and there's tables, and it's just, and they do crazy drinks there too, where you can get yard drinks and guitar drinks, and
Flaming
it's
drinks.
just a very fun experience.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people miss out on Vegas, Like you end up going to a resort. Sometimes you go hit a bar and it's just a person charging you $20 for a rum and coke, doesn't care about your experience. Like here's $20 rum and coke, Like thanks, dude. Where those places you get the different kind of feel. Like what's the other place? Golden Gate?
Yeah.
Where they have like the dancing bartenders or dealers, dancing dealers. You ever played at their dealer
Forgot about that.
poker? Yeah, and they're dancing around, dude. Like that's
Yeah.
so cool, right? You're not gonna get that at Hard Rock Cafe and all these places. They're just there, like look like they're just disappointed in life, and they just want your $20 for a drink. So yeah, that's horrible. But these are the kind of places people should go.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
Definitely.
much more fun. I'd
They're
rather pay
great. They're
20.
great for bachelor parties too.
Right. For
Great
bachelor.
bachelor party places.
Good luck convincing all of that. But I'd rather have some person like flip the bottle up in the air and light it on fire or whatever, you know. Like it's much more fun than just like pour a drink and hand it to me and be like, $20, please.
This
Right.
this is me pulling a Jedi mind trick right here. This is why I picked this topic. Just saying here.
All right, Wes, what do you got at one?
It's Carnival Tours. For
Yeah.
all the reasons Derek said, and another reason you just go there and it's so much fun. It's almost like speed dating too. It's like you meet people, it's like you talk. I mean, everyone's talking to each other. It's just fun. It's fun atmosphere.
Yeah, and that's why you go to Vegas, right?
And another thing is it's outdoor. You're outside.
Right.
And I just don't like being inside. It's so loud. It's like it's outdoors, and it's like you got music and dancing and
I mean, I can't argue with that. It's great. But I will tell you my number one, which you both already said, it doesn't get any better than the Rio. Just doesn't, you know. Not only with, the rooftop bar, obviously, they got good food, but if you're there to play poker, gamble, like there's not a better casino to actually play to gamble in than the Rio. Especially if you're a poker player, dude. I've played so many high stakes pokers, WSOP events, things like that there. It's so much fun because you don't have to go anywhere after you finish your poker tournament. I could finish my poker tournament at Rio and still just go have a blast, which is what I loved about it, and I think maybe that's why they put the poker tournaments to Rio because it had everything.
I remember the times that we stayed at the Rio and we just kind of like we're there and like we really don't want to go anywhere.
Why do you need to go anywhere else?
Right.
You don't need to.
You don't need
just go
to.
up to the lounge. But
Yeah.
if we had to, it's like it kind of sucks. It's not like we could walk across the overpass. We're gonna get hit by a taxi driver. It's like it's just you just.
But the shuttle takes you to Harrah's.
Yeah, you can't take the shuttle. That's true. But it's just like its own thing, but it also has everything you need, But I will tell you, outside of the Mirage, you won't get better poker there, and the Mirage poker sucks now, right? So you can't even get good poker at the Mirage anymore. So the Rio for me is the best place.
And the Rio still has a really good price on their buffets. Right now, it's $31 for their weekend buffet, which comes with all you can drink champagne.
What?
So it sounds like a bachelor party at the Rio.
Oh yeah. See, Holly likes discount. That's discounted.
So it sounds like to me. It's in the top 5 for everybody.
Caitlin likes champagne.
For me, it's tough to beat the Rio in Vegas. There's a lot I like about Vegas.
No
it's
way.
Like
what's it at the win? Like 150?
No, it's 80.
Probably.
It's 8. I just ate there. Their buffet is $80.
Oh, that's right. 2 people.
It was horrible. Horrible. The Wynn buffet is the last buffet I'll ever eat at the Wynn.
It was, the last time I went, because Caitlin hates buffets. She's not a buffet person. But we did the Wynn buffet, and it was amazing.
Dude,
back then.
People told me, yeah.
I'll tell you, their crab was terrible. Which,
You just
dude,
love
if I'm
crab.
going to buffet, I want crab, and I don't want it to be like taste fishy when it's cold
Oh,
and not be hot enough when it's hot. So they had like mildly warm hot crab and like super fishy cold crab. And I was like, I came here for the crab because they're supposed to have good seafood at the Win.
mhm.
Didn't have it.
Wow. That's
So
great.
it was very disappointing. But good top five Vegas stuff. Hopefully our listeners take take heed to our advice.
Dude, our listeners have they've probably lapped us already in the last 5 years.
No.
They're like, what are you guys talking about? Like,
Dude,
what are you guys?
everybody
You
loves to
guys
go
like
to Vegas.
80 or something?
Everybody
Like
loves to
Wes
go to
picking
Vegas.
up girls at the pizza place? What's wrong with you?
Well, that might have helped them leave, Wes. I'm not gonna lie. But everybody loves to hear about what's good to go to Vegas. I think that was a good topic. I love that topic actually, and
That's the
it
rated
makes me want to go to Vegas like right now.
that's the PG. The
I'm
PG.
like I'm ready to buy a ticket and let's go.
I'll meet you. I'll drive. I'll meet you down.
Oh man, good stuff. Great top five this week. If you guys are listening, still hopefully, if you have any comments, suggestions, always comes from like my sister or people we know, but that's fine too. Give us your suggestions. We'll do more of that. We got a lot of football to come. Can't wait for football to start. Any final words, guys?
Well, I forgot, another topic was University of Colorado. It's going to be moving back to the Big 12.
Yeah,
Oh man.
not surprised.
Is Dion still gonna coach with his injury?
What's wrong with him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's talking major trash to other teams,
Well,
other coaches.
they're like having to amputate his foot, right?
What?
Yeah, they're
No, they
talking
didn't have
about.
to. I think they already had to amputate toes before,
Oh God.
but I don't know if he had to amputate his foot.
Well, I mean,
But
they're
he's,
talking about. They haven't done it yet, but they're saying like maybe.
yeah, he had surgery 6 days ago to remove a blood clot from his right leg.
Oh, it's a blood clot. Oh God.
But no, he's there because he's talking major trash.
To who?
Well, I can't wait to see it, dude.
Because I mean, I guess I'd be talking trash too if I was leaving the conference.
Uh,
No, but he was talking trash to, I think, like Oklahoma and stuff like that.
Oh, before leaving the Big 12?
No, just about how great they are.
they brought in a lot of good transfers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they lost a few good ones, but um, it's going to be interesting to see how this transition happens. Because yeah, you coach really well at a small school against
Yeah.
not big teams. Now you kind of went to the big time, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
let's see how you do now, and maybe he kills it, which might be kind of cool, right? Talk a
Yeah.
lot of trash, come out, maybe Colorado makes a bowl.
Well, they yeah, I mean, they're kind of
Dude, they were
like,
horrible last year. What they win, like
oh
one
yeah,
or two games?
they're terrible. They're gonna improve. The question is how much are they gonna improve?
I,
They got a Pac-12's gonna beat up on each other.
I think if he comes out, they win a bowl game. That's a huge victory for him. Or they go to a bowl game.
Well,
I think that's a huge victory for him.
yeah, they will. They probably will.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It
Oregon
makes it
State's
interesting. It's good TV, right? It's primetime
yeah.
television. It's fun to watch.
No, I see. Yeah, you
Yeah,
see it online. You see a lot of this stuff online. Just like
yeah.
I get it. Let's just start playing. Let's play right now. Like I
Well,
it's
I can't wait for college football too. So
I always
it's
college football. Like Caleb Williams is taught. He guaranteed that. Oh yeah, we're gonna make the college football playoff. It's like, why don't you just guarantee you're gonna win the whole thing?
You're like, okay, Joe Namath.
Okay, yeah, yeah, Joe. That's like Joe Namath saying, you know what? I guarantee you we're gonna make it to the AFC championship or the AFL championship game. Come on,
Oh,
why are
so
you even
good.
say anything? I guarantee you I'm gonna win the Heisman again. It's like
I think it'll be a fun season. I
it'd be
can't wait to
fun.
see it. You know, I actually
It's
can't
gonna
wait to
be
see the NFL
crazy.
season. I think NFL season has become very balanced. It's a very balanced across both leagues. You know, AFC and NFC. So should be a uh, fun year for podcasting and watching NFL and college football. So we'll cover that. So hopefully our listeners don't get too happy with our top fives.
We might have to
We'll
sprinkle one in.
I think
yeah
we're running out of top five, dude. We're gonna have to start
we'll
doing
sprinkle them in with the NFL talk and the
top
NCAA
five.
football talk. All right, guys. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you're watching on YouTube. Appreciate all your listeners on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and Spotify. Don't forget to take the polls. So we got polls every week, and we'll see you next time.